All righty, so I'm gonna get started here. My name is Paul Benkesser. I am a professor and senior associate chair in the Coulter Department of Biomedical Engineering. I'm also the program director for the Galway program. The dates of the program are listed on this slide. This year it's different, not only because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and likely we'll be living through some residuals of it through this summer as well. But as far as the information on this slide, the main difference is the length of the program is only 7 weeks this year compared to their normal 10. The difference there being the fact that our host, National University of Ireland Galway, has changed their academic calendar this year. And really, this is the window of opportunity between the 19th of June and the 7th of August that kind of overlaps both Georgia Tech and UIG. So we're going to have to make do with that this coming year. For those of you unfamiliar with Ireland, Galway is located on the west coast of Ireland, about a 3-hour drive from the capital, Dublin. It's a relatively small country with far more sites than you'll be able to see than you could possibly see in the time period we're going to be over there. There are intercity bus routes that connect Galway to all major cities in Ireland. Many tour buses travel between Galway and those cities daily. And many sites like the Cliffs of Moher, Connemara National Park, Kylemore Abbey, Aran Islands, just to name a few, are readily accessible via Galway with public transportation and tour companies. Here's one of those sites that I mentioned, the Cliffs of Moher, kind of breathtaking views along the west coast of Ireland. Virtually every Georgia Tech student that participates in this program will find their way to the cliffs before they leave Ireland. Classes are only held 4 days per week. One of the reasons for that is to create 3-day weekends to allow students to travel, but not only throughout Ireland, but many students in the past have traveled throughout Europe over those long weekends. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we'll likely still be in a pandemic this summer. Travel may be somewhat restricted compared to what it has been in past summers, but hopefully there will be some opportunities for travel through Europe this summer as well. The Galway is, quite frankly, literally surrounded by water. Galway Bay is to the south. The River Corrib running through really the heart of Galway, and part of that is shown here in this particular slide. The top of this picture is a very low dam that's been built across the river to really make it more navigable. There's a salmon weir associated with that small dam. There to the left, you could see the water flowing over that. That's to allow spawning salmon to return upriver. If you go upriver a few miles, you'll run into Loch Corrib. Loch is the Irish word for lake. The buildings to the left on this side are parts of the NUIG. Galway is one of the largest cities in Ireland. It has a history dating back over 800 years. Shop Street is, as the name would imply, one of the main shopping thoroughfares in Galway. It contains a number of very old brick buildings, some dating back to the 16th century. Bright storefronts, numerous pubs, and you'll find street performers and buskers prevalent all along Shop Street. Galway is there's never a shortage of things to do in Galway. Galway International Arts Festival normally takes place over 2 weeks in July and draws up to 250,000 visitors to Galway each summer. We will see as planning progresses what their plans are for the summer of 20 to 21. But I am sure that if there's any way that these festivals can continue this summer, they will find a way. Theater, music, visual arts, opera, street spectacles like the one shown in this slide are very common throughout the summer and a number of these various festivals that come to Galway. The National University of Ireland at Galway is our host. This university was founded in 1845 as Queen's College Galway. The oldest part of the university, or the quadrangle itself, is shown here in this particular slide. The Great Hall is actually a replica of Christ Church, which is one of the colleges at the University of Oxford in Oxford, England. The university enrolls about 18,000 students and was recently ranked within the top 1% of universities worldwide as far as reputation is concerned. Shown in this slide here is the engineering building on the NUIG campus. It's what will really be our home this summer. This is a building where all our classes will be held. It was completed construction-wise about 8 years ago. It is on the banks of the River Corrib. It's the largest engineering building on any campus at any university in Ireland. As you literally look out the window of the engineering building, you can overlook the River Corrib, and this is one of the views that you can see from the engineering building. Kayaks traveling down the river itself. Now, as far as traveling to Galway is concerned, the program really expects students to make their own travel arrangements. Most students do fly into Dublin or Shannon airports. Those are the two largest airports in Ireland, and take buses to Galway. Dublin is a little farther away, as I mentioned, about 3 hours, a little less than 3 by express bus. Shannon is a bit closer. The buses generally take about less than 2 hours to travel between the Shannon airport and Galway. The Shannon is not as large of an airport as Dublin, but depending on where you're flying from the U.S., one might be preferable to another, based simply on your own personal scheduling. Once one arrives in the coach station, which is the bus station in the center of Galway, a short taxi ride is the best way to get you and your luggage to and from the university. The Corrib village is the housing area within the university where our accommodations will be. This website here that I have on the slide is a great spot to go to check out travel information, all types of travel information associated with getting to and from the university. Buses, trains, planes, you name it, taxis, everything. Good site to visit to get that sort of information. Now, our accommodations are going to be in the Goldcrest Village. It's really directly adjacent to the Corrib Village, I just mentioned as being really the transportation hub for the campus between the city center. Actually, from here, this village, literally across the street, is where you would get the shuttle, be able to travel to the city center roughly every 30 minutes. You can visit the city center. Otherwise, a walk would be about 20-25 minutes from the Goldcrest Village. It's located about a 10-minute, easy 10-minute walk to the engineering building where all our classes are going to be held. Each student is going to have an individual bedroom, ensuite bedroom. In other words, you have your own bath facilities within your bedroom. And we are typically, at least the plan right now, will have three bedrooms per apartment. There's going to be a shared kitchen and basically living room space within each one of the apartments. That I should have mentioned, the Goldcrest Village just opened up a couple of years ago, so it is very new. As far as the cost of the program, there is a program fee of $5,000 that covers the housing at the Goldcrest Village, 4 days of meals per week, and that would be Monday through Thursday. Students in the past reported not wanting more than 4 days a week because frequent weekend traveling really they felt was a waste of money for them because they were not able to take advantage of any of the food over weekends. The tuition right now, as far as I'm aware, it's still at $342 per credit hour. Student fees of $651. All of these are common for every faculty-led program this summer at Georgia Tech. Meals right now, and I emphasize right now, the current plans are breakfast, lunch, and dinner being provided through two campus dining facilities, and these are very close. One is in the engineering building, and that's the one in the lower left. That's called the Zinc Cafe. The one on the right, Friars Cafe and Restaurant, is literally across the street from the engineering buildings. Now, again, these plans are subject to change. I imagine right now the situation is that probably only boxed meals are available there. We'll keep everybody posted in terms of what the meal plans are come this summer. So again, I want to be sure I don't promise you something that the pandemic won't allow us to deliver here. We are planning for an orientation session the Sunday, the 20th. That's the day before classes start. It's actually the day after the arrival on campus, or at least when the campus will be able to accommodate your arrival, which is on Saturday, June 19th. Have the tentative lists of courses on this particular slide. This information is on our website. You can find more details, and very shortly, within the next week or so, we will have tentative or first drafts of syllabi for all of these courses available by links on the program's website. The west of Ireland is home to one of the highest concentrations of medical device companies in the world, not just Ireland, not the U.S., but in the world. This is really the reason we visit Galway every summer. We take advantage of the close proximity to these companies in Galway with weekly industry visits to learn firsthand how biomedical engineering is practiced in industry. Here's a photo from one of those visits in 2018 from a company I'm sure you've heard of before, Johnson & Johnson. Now, again, we've contacted these companies that we normally visit during the summers. They're playing a wait-and-see game in terms of whether they're going to be able to host our normal industry visits like they have before. If not, if we are not able to visit one of these companies personally, they are going to come to us and send representatives to meet with our students, and obviously in in a safe manner, social distancing, whatever the guidelines are that are in place come this summer. That's what the restrictions we're going to have to live with for the program in 2021. The class schedule, let's talk a little bit about that. We have one course that we are planning to offer before Galway. In other words, before the program actually starts in Galway, there's going to be one remote option of a course online for students that really want to or need to have a full 12 hours of course credit this summer. This 3 credit hour course will count as a depth elective for our students. All students are expected, once they are in Galway, to take between 6 to 9 credit hours of courses. As I mentioned before, classes are 4 days a week. We expect that participation in 2 industry visits, and perhaps I should put air quotes around industry visits. As I said, these may be virtual visits. We will have to just see how the pandemic situation plays out this summer. The final exams will take place on Friday, August 6th. So in total, when you have the optional course, remote course before we arrive in Galway, and the courses we are going to be offering Galway, students can earn anywhere between 6 to 12 credit hours as part of this program. The little note I add at the bottom here: it is my expectation that the pandemic situation will not resolve to the extent that we will return to classes as we used to remember them before the pandemic started. In all likelihood, the hybrid courses that we are familiar with from past fall and this spring will be the modes that will be offered in Galway. And I should say that at our host, NUI Galway, their actually fall semester is not quite over yet. Remember, I said they extended their academic calendar, so they're having exams right now, I believe, as I speak. But their plans and their classes are exactly like ours in terms of the hybrid. Social distancing in classrooms, mask requirements, everything we do at Georgia Tech is what they are doing at NUIG. So our plan is that we are going to adopt the more stringent of whichever campus's requirements are, whether it be Georgia Tech or our host NUIG, and that's what we are going to operate within during this summer. Important dates are listed here. The application deadline is February 15th. And for those who have not completed an application yet, understand that completing the application requires a $500 program fee deposit. There's been questions I've been asked about, is this deposit refundable? And clearly, if we cancel the program, that deposit, I say we as in Georgia Tech, cancel the program, then those deposits are refundable. Now, this statement I had, deposits become non-refundable after the 15th, what that really refers to, if you decide to cancel and the program runs anyway, that deposit becomes non-refundable after February 15th. Okay. So it is refundable if the program is canceled by Georgia Tech, or if our host does not allow us to come. Everything is really refundable. Deadline I don't know at this point, or actually a beginning that I don't know at this point, is when registration for courses start. I imagine it's going to be sometime in March. Course registration coincides with the normal summer registration for courses at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. So registration is no different. April 1st is a no-go decision deadline that Georgia Tech has established for all programs. In other words, if we decide that we're going to cancel the program, we being Georgia Tech or myself, the department, decide that whatever the situation just doesn't look like it's going to be amenable to hosting a program, we must make that decision no later than April 1st. Okay. April 9th is the first date of the first payment for a program fee. And of course, because it's after April 1st, that means Georgia Tech has made the commitment to move forward with the program. Students canceling between April 10th and May 7th must pay a 30% program fee. Students, and the second program fee payment deadline is May 7th. Okay. Students really canceling after that date are responsible for 100% of the program fee. May something or other, not sure, the date hasn't been set yet, but it's going to be the normal time in which tuition is due for a summer term at Georgia Tech. That's the date that the tuition payments are going to be due for the Galway program. So now's the time I am going to stop and answer any questions that you may have. I'm going